Hey, everybody, this is Caleb with King's Advisors, and today I want to talk a little bit about A Song of Ice and Fire. This is obviously a story and a brand and TV show, movies, all that Dan and I really like. And this isn't an entry into what we love about, because Dan and I will do one for Game of Thrones, the books, and House of the Dragon later on. It's more of a thank you note in a way. So and Dan and I have ragged on George R. R. Martin several times for not releasing Winds of Winter. And we rag on D&D for what they did to season 7, season 8. But at the end of the day, we still need to remember that they have created it. They made it. I wouldn't know about this world, and I don't think a lot of people would know about this world that George created if Dan and Dave had not tried to make the show for HBO. If HBO doesn't make the show, 19 million people don't watch the final season. I don't start reading the books. So as much as I dislike the way the show ended, as much as I dislike what Dan and Dave did with the character development and the story arcs that they were working on for 4 or 5 seasons and then completely threw against the wall, I still have to thank them, because they still created this world. The show, I should say. They still created a TV show that brought viewers and brought fans to this mythical world where, in a way, your honor still matters. Varys is right when he said that Ned Stark's honor is what killed him. It is. But I think that's what made Ned Stark such a cool character. That even in his final moment, he thought his honor mattered more than his life. Through this fandom, I've made some really great friends. Dan is a friend that I made because of Game of Thrones. I sat there in my contracts class, and I had, there were 80 people in my contracts class. And Dan and I would sit near each other. And when the trailers and everything started launching near the end of 2018, Dan and I would get to class early, and we would just talk about, these theories we had. We just released our videos on his and then mine top 5 favorite fan theories. And we would spend hours discussing these theories. That's a building block for a friendship that, I'm sure we both hope lasts our lifetime. I've met people here on YouTube, the Sundowners Club, the 2 great ladies over at the Salty Inferno, people in the Hanger Bay community, people on EBN, that I have just loved talking about this show, these books, and then starting to talk about other stuff. It's a building block for friendships. That's something to be really grateful for. So as I said, as much as I dislike what Dan and Dave did, we still have to thank them for doing it. We still got the incredible emotion and the raw power of the Red Wedding. We got to see that on screen. We got to see the Watchers on the Wall. We got to see the Battle of Blackwater. Even the Battle of the Bastards, the moment where you all are sitting there going, there's no hope for Jon. Is this how it all ends? And the Knights of the Vale run in and save the North. And then you get to see Jon kill Ramsay. Well, beat him badly, and then Sansa kills him with his dogs. But still. And even in season 8, how great was that moment when you had all of those people sitting around the fire and Jaime knighted Brienne? I remember when I first started watching it, and I wasn't a fan of Brienne. I don't know if it was because she was tall. I don't know if it was because she was Captain Phasma and I was already not liking the new Star Wars movies. I don't know. But there was just something I didn't like about Brienne. But over the course of the show, I really started to like her. I didn't want her to die a gruesome death. I wanted her to go down fighting for what she believed in. I wanted her to maintain her honor because she considered her honor important as well. I did not want her to become the new Lord Commander of the Kingsguard wearing that ridiculous new Lord Commander armor. That stuff is terrible, but that's neither here nor there. The point that I'm trying to make is I've gotten a lot out of A Song of Ice and Fire and Westeros and Game of Thrones and House of the Dragon. And I think a lot of people that watched the show and read the books have as well. And sometimes I think we forget how much we've gotten out of it. And so providing us with that. So for putting that on screen, I just want to say thank you to Dan and Dave. I'm still upset with what y'all did, with what they did with season 7 and season 8. But I'm still very grateful that I got some magnificent television and I got a magnificent story that has provided me with a fandom that is as deep in lore, as deep in conversation as any fandom out there. So once again, George, Dan and Dave, Ryan, even Miguel, thank you. And if you've made it this far, please drop a like, subscribe to the channel, click the bell so that you get notified whenever we drop new content or go live, and follow us on Twitter, King'sAdvisors_.